Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure for me to stay with Mr. Sebastian Villacis. He is in B2 level, and this is his interview. Mr. Sebastian, introduce yourself, please.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sebastian Villacis. I am an IC student of B2 level. So today I'm gonna do a presentation about the psychologist. I select this topic because it's a very interesting topic for me because in the future I'm gonna be a psychologist. That's why I select this topic. The psychology. What is the psychology? The psychology is the scientific study of the mind and the behavior. The psychology is actively involved in understanding and studying mental processes, brain functions, and behavior. The field of psychology is a field science with strong connections with other science, such as the social science, the medical science, and the education. The origins. Psychology origins trace back to the ancient Greek philosophy with Plato and Aristotle. In the 17th century, we have philosophers like René Descartes with dualism, John Locke with empiricism that laid the foundational ideas of psychology. Then in the 19th century, we saw the beginning of the psychology as a science, as a formal science, when Wilhelm Wundt opened the first psychology lab in 1879. Then in the early 20, we have the rise of some approaches like the functionalism of William James, the psychoanalysis of Sigmund Freud, the behaviorism of Pierre Skinner and John B. Watson. Then in the late 20, introduced the humanistic psychology with Carl Rogers and Abraham Maslow. In this time we saw the cognitive revolution too. So now the modern psychology is using other factors like the biological factors, the social factors, and the psychological factors to study the behavior and the mental processes. The first psychologist, Wilhelm Wundt, was a German scientist who was the first person to be referred to as a psychologist. Wundt viewed the psychology as the scientific study of the behavior of the behavior and the conscious experience. So he believed that there were two goals of psychologists. The first was to identify how those components conforms our conscious experience, and the second was to identify the components of the consciousness. Now I would like to speak about the most important therapy in psychology, that is the cognitive behavioral therapy. This therapy is a kind of psychological therapy that helps people to recognize their patterns of thinking, to better them, better them to have better thoughts and better behaviors. So the is a combination between the cognitive therapy and the behavioral therapy. How does psychology help people? Psychology can help people in large part because it can explain why the people act the way they do. With this kind of professional insight, the psychology can help people to improve their stress management, their decisions making, and their behavior. So finally, the conclusion. The psychology is a dynamic and multifaceted science that studies the human behavior and the human behavior and the mind. The psychology origins trace back to the ancient Greek with philosophers like Plato, Aristotle, René Descartes with dualism, and with John Lake. So the psychology is very important in our society because it can help people, can help business to be more successful. So the actual psychology is a combination between other factors like the psychological factors, the social factors, psychological factors, social factors. So the psychology of today is a more scientific psychology and is very important for us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sebastian. Now, question time. Okay, tell me, why did you decide to choose this topic?
I choose this topic because it's very interesting for me because the behavior and the mind is like something very interesting for me, and I'm gonna be a psychologist, so that's the reason because I select this topic.
Okay, thank you. Why is important psychology in our society?
Psychology is important in our society because psychology can help people to have a better life. Psychology can help business to be more successful. Psychology can help even students for being more successful with the scores, with studying and other things.
Okay, thank you. Was psychology important in the past?
Well, psychology is like a new science, so in the past, like not too much, but the psychology is always important. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Would you recommend to investigate more about this topic?
Yes. Well, I would like to recommend to investigate about this topic because know about psychology can help us to have a better life, to understand why we act the way they do, and it's a very important thing. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Can you provide some advices to improve mental health?
Yes. The first one is like having a better stress management, other one is doing exercise. Other one is if you need going to a psychology because a psychology can help you so much.
Okay, thank you. Now, is psychology a good profession in Ecuador?
Yes, I think psychology is a good profession because a psychology can work in a school helping the students, in a hospital helping people that have problems or other things. Psychology can even work in a business because psychology can make the people work better and like that make the business more successful. Yes, so for me it's a very good job.
Okay, thank you. What are the people's advantages when they are taking psychology as a therapy?
When the people is taking therapy, like the people is gonna be like with a better stress management, they are gonna be more quiet, like more calm. So and they are going to have like a better scores if they are in the school, better they are gonna be better workers if they are working. So it's very important going to a psychologist. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Now, on the other side, what are the disadvantages? Okay.
So if a person needs a psychology and he doesn't go to a psychology, the disadvantages are that he is gonna be like very stressed, very sad. He's not going to have the same opportunities if he's a person that go to a psychologist. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Now, how has psychology changed the study of human behavior?
Well, the psychology is like a new science, so the psychology like make the people ask why we act the way they do. So the psychology has like a lot of approaches like theories of the behavior, like the psychoanalysis, and the humanistic psychology, the behaviorism. So the psychology gives us the opportunity to know why we act the way we do.
Okay, thank you. What would happen if psychology didn't exist?
If psychology didn't exist, we would not have the same information that we have today. Like some people would not have help if they have problems, and some business would not have success. So that's what would happen if the psychology didn't exist.
Okay, thank you. Are you studying psychology?
Actually, no, but like in 6 months, I'm gonna be studying psychology when I enter to university.
Okay, why did you decide it?
I decided to study psychology because the behavior, like the thoughts, like the mental processes are things that are very, very, very interesting for me. And I have some cousins, some uncles that are psychologists, so they are my inspiration. Yes.
Thank you. And in which situations is necessary to go to a psychologist?
Well, it's necessary to go to a psychologist when you are sad, when you think that, when you are very stressed. Then yes, there are the situations that I think you should go to a psychologist.
Okay, thank you. Do you know psychology facts?
Yes, I know one, that is that the emotions and the thoughts are doing the behavior. Yes.
Okay, thank you. And what is interesting about psychology?
Something interesting about the psychology is that the psychology has like a lot of theories, like the behaviorism, the psychoanalysis, the structuralism. Like when you are in psychology, you have like a lot of theories. So it's very interesting to be a psychologist.
Okay, thank you. And how do you see psychology in 30 years in the future?
Well, I think in the future the psychology is going to be like science, science with more information that can help people in a better way that is a better psychology than we have today.
Okay, thank you so much. Please say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Okay, thank you.